Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live. Saturday night edition. So what we're going to do here, we're going to wait a few minutes. We got my main man G coming in. As you can see, we got my main man Transformer here too. And so we'll wait a couple minutes, let that get going, let a couple people hop into the chat, and then we'll get this thing up and rolling. But yeah, good day so far. And college football is back. If you're a college football fan, I know you're happy about that. Well, some of us are happy about that. I am.
Hey, I'm happy. Yeah. Irregardless, I'm happy. Okay,
that's what's up.
Disappointed is a different thing.
Facts. Oh man, but yeah, yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes, man. But definitely some interesting things going on in the world of sports. Got four what I believe to be pretty interesting topics to talk about with my guys, and hopefully share these thoughts with you all, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. Yeah, looking forward to it. And of course, before we even get started there, we got some quick hits, things that are worth touching on, but not worth an entire segment. So it's going to be a good show tonight. But before we even get to all those, what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. Man, oh man. So first thing, what is that? What's that smell, bro? You smell that? That smells like football in the air, Transformer.
Oh, okay, I thought you was being funny.
I wasn't being funny. It's football.
I thought you was being funny. Okay, I smell that too.
College football is back, and we got what is this? The final?
That one.
The final week of preseason
yes,
in
sir.
the NFL.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? It's not that serious. Steve, what's good? But yeah, I love it, man. College football is back. This is such a beautiful thing, man. It does something to me, man, because I'm a weird dude, right? And I'll say this, I'm sure I've said it before. I live in Florida, right? And I hate summertime. And I hate summertime, which is crazy, right? I hate summer, and I always have, because in most years during the summer, all you have to watch is baseball. And I'm not a baseball guy. And so I'm going crazy waiting for football to come back, right? Think about it. College football is like the longest off season. And then, of course, you're waiting for the NFL. But now the wait is all over, and we're ready to rock and roll again.
Every week we're going to get some pig skin on the field.
Man, listen.
Oh, man.
Listen, bro. It feels so good. It feels so good. It feels so good. All right, so let's do this, man. First thing I want to say, everybody who's here, I appreciate you. Make sure you go over to the YouTube page, click that like and that subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely click that like. Let's get this thing out to more people. We do this every time, man. Click that like. It costs you nothing. It's free. And what do we want to do? We want a more active and more engaged freaking chat section, right? And when you click that button, we get that. More people come in, and I love how you guys are chopping it up in the chat while we're talking sometimes, and just
go and hit the like button. I already clicked on another video.
Look at you, man. You're supposed to be clicking the like button.
Hit the like button, guys.
Click the like button. It's all free.
Hit that right there. Cue that Avant, y'all.
All right.
Big Baritone, hit it with the voice.
Here you go, man. Stop. All right. Stupid as hell. All right. So looks like, let's go ahead, and I guess we're going to take it to the main event then?
Yeah, we're going to take Vic out of the top 5 too. But go ahead.
Your top 5, bro. He ain't coming up.
That was absurd.
That was absurd.
All right.
I've never heard of that, but go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Let's take it to the NBA, y'all. Let's take it to the NBA. And this, I thought, was really interesting. So, heard a clip from, right, Steve?
Steve ready.
Steve is ready. Steve is always, man, he always ready to bring it. But
Jeez. Whoa. Crazy work.
Yep.
Yo, man, y'all
I'm getting
gotta
log
chill,
off. Yep,
man.
I'm out like you guys be easy.
Y'all gotta chill, man. I ain't even saying nothing on this time.
That boy always
That
ready to bring
was.
it. Every time.
I don't know nothing
Every
about
time,
that.
Steve.
That's crazy.
Really? That's what we. All right.
Yeah, you gotta
Let's
get
go.
that
Let's
shirt,
go.
man.
That boy said, "Ding,
You gotta
ding,
get that
ding."
no
We
homo
always
shirt.
ready.
I'm joking.
Wow. No Diddy.
No titty.
All right. So best NBA scores. I was listening. All right. I was listening to Gil's Arena, and this was crazy because they got into a discussion that eventually led to a discussion on like the best NBA scorers ever, right? And how it started was they were, I guess, the host or the moderator, whoever that guy is. He says, "Who's the better scorer, KD, Kevin Durant, or Carmelo Anthony?" And at first, I'm like, okay, this is easy, right? It's KD.
Yeah, you would think KD, but then you
would
look
think.
at it.
You would think, but then it got interesting. All right, so let's check this out. This was pretty interesting.
Who's the better scorer in their prime, KD or Melo?
Damn. That's an easy fucking answer to me.
Score, that's just overall.
The getting of buckets.
I mean, you would
Levels, like you said.
probably overall, you would go Melo because he had 4-level, 5-level scoring, which is layups. Like everyone talks about 3-level scoring, right? That's basic fucking people.
Triple threat.
Right?
Casuals,
right? There's casuals, layup, midi, and then the 3-point line. It's 3 levels. Motherfucker that's posting up, and there's ISOs.
Yep.
Right? And, Melo posted up, and Melo was ISO player, right? That's 5 levels of, scoring. That's what I said, that basic bullshit is, layup, and he got the mid-range, and then he has, you have a guy that's great at posting up and a guy that's great at, one-on-one isolation. So when it comes to the who is the most, complete scorer, then you would say Melo.
All right, so that was interesting, right? I hadn't thought about it that way before.
I did.
Say again.
I did.
Okay. All right. I had honestly always thought about it more so the 3-level scoring piece in terms of, obviously at the rim in the mid range and then all the way out to 3. Because that's what we always talk about, right? Maybe not us. I don't think we've ever discussed that, but you always hear the term 3-level scorer, right? But now to actually add in the ISO game as well as the post-up game, I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And when you do that, yeah, it becomes Melo because it's not just the raw numbers, but prime Melo was an absolute animal, right?
Animal.
Like if we remember that, Melo was freaking just destructive. Like we remember him just coming into the league with Denver and then just going on. Like when he was with the Knicks, I was like, yo, just watching, how quick the mid-range was, 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull up. And he would do that because what? Economy of motion, right? Because remember, he worked with Mike a lot, but at the same time, he could also, as you see right here, he could put it on the floor and do all that. He just didn't need to. He would just, create that space and be able to hit that shot. Everyone seems to love KD, and I don't want to take anything from KD. Obviously, he's an elite all-time scorer. But whoa, Steve. No.
Purest buckets to ever touch a basketball?
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
I would say 2 of.
Yes, but not the. Nah, we're gonna get to that. But yeah, Melo was
You got to put Tracy in that conversation.
Of course you got. I mean, how do we? Mike, Kobe.
Well, those are the obsolete. We're not even gonna mention those two.
Okay, so we don't need to. Okay,
yeah, we don't need to mention
because I'm like, how do we? How do we talk about,
who should not be named? It's those.
right. I'm like, how do we do that?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but we definitely got some more before we kind of go through and give our elite bucket getters here some more commentary from Gil, which again I thought this was really interesting because I hadn't looked at it kind of the way that he broke it down. So here's another comment that he had that they talked about that I thought was good as well that I wanted to
say. All right, name all life top 10 5-level scorers, right? Because it's 5 levels of scoring, real 5 levels, that elite 5 levels. That takes out generations of players. Because, when you talk about the 80s, you're really talking about Jordan, the 80s, 90s, Jordan, then you got Bird.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it.
Bird, I mean, the big man, we can't, the reason the big man is not a part of this because this.
Right.
But you're talking about, those two, Kobe.
But I guess, but you're talking about.
You know what I mean? You got Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Right?
Paul Pierce is a.
T-Mac a little bit. T-Mac is 4 or 5.
Did T-Mac post up much?
A little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, T-Mac. But that's what I'm saying. You see how when you add the other 2 elements of posting up and ISO ball, you can see how a lot of great scores will be out of this category. And that's the difference. Like, Melo is in a category, KD ain't in a category yet because of the posting up and all that.
So you bet.
I mean, he tries it, but that's not his skill set. His skill set is face up, and I'm just going to shoot over you.
So I like a lot of what he said there in terms of how when you look at the elite 5 level bucket getters, that removes a lot of guys, right? So in fairness, that's probably going to end up removing just about all the true big men, right? Because they need someone to get them the ball. Now we know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, no disrespect to the Cap, right? Former all-time leading scorer for a long time, right?
True plumbers.
One of the best scorers of all time, though. I mean,
that boy
for
just
him
got
to be able to do that,
right there.
and everyone just thinks, okay, it's the skyhook. Of course, the skyhook was lethal almost all the way out till 3. But then you look, he go off glass. He had the mid-range jumper.
Defense. Big trash.
I mean, the dude was an all-time elite scorer. Look at
that big trash. Let him walk around. Big trash.
That's called a drop step. And
that's
he was
called
quicker than the
plumbers.
defender.
Big trash. No defense. Look at that. No defense. Big trash. Forgot he was guarding him. Big trash.
You try to force the dude out of his range, and hopefully it's too far. But okay. Allen Iverson, yeah, that was another pure bucket, definitely.
But
absolutely.
He didn't have a post-up game.
Right. So that kind of removes him from this discussion, which is crazy, right? But I love it. So as I wrote a couple names down as Gil was talking, right? Clyde Drexler, because remember he said in the 80s pretty much Bird and Michael Jordan based on his criteria. What about Clyde Drexler? I think he would fit from the 80s based on that criteria, right? He could definitely take you ISO. He could definitely take you into the post, right? He definitely had the mid-range, and at times he could get out to 3. So
at times.
What up, Sneed? Yeah, well, because the 3, as you know, G, the 3 wasn't such an important part of the game back then, so dudes weren't shooting it all the time.
We don't meet the criteria then. We're not sliding Drexler in this conversation.
Well, no, you can because what? Because think about this, right? The 3-point average for the league now is higher than it's ever been. Why? Because guys are shooting it more. So if you measure the 3-point percentage of guys back then based on what the league was doing, why couldn't you? Now, are you going to compare him to Klay Thompson now? No, that's not what he was doing. That's not his game. But what I'm saying though, you got to compare relative to. What I'm saying is you got to compare guys relative to what the league was doing when they were playing. That's what I'm saying. All right, cool. Okay, I got one for you, Mitch Richmond. That fits the criteria. He could take you off the dribble. He could shoot the 3. He could shoot the mid-range. He could take you into the post, and the ISO game was there. Michael Jordan says Mitch Richmond was one of the toughest guards he ever had. Michael Jordan said that, and that's one of the elite, if not the best two-way player of all time. He said that, not me.
I'll give you another one.
So I mean,
forget this one. Another guy from Portland.
So you mentioned Clyde Drexler before you mentioned Cole.
No,
but that's the aforementioned. We're not mentioning Jordan. Yeah,
and believe me, I got the Cole B-roll. Come on, man, you don't think I'm gonna be so disrespectful as that, do you?
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna wait on my turn, bro. I'm gonna wait on my turn.
All right, I got you.
But let's not forget the other kid from Portland.
Who's this?
Brandon Roy.
Oh, he was.
A problem.
Yeah. That's a great call.
Was a
great
problem.
Call.
Even Kobe mentioned he's like, bro, that man gave me problems.
Brandon Roy was super nice. Without being super nice, without being super explosive, he was super nice.
Exactly. Can pull up, you know what I mean? Dunk on you. I mean,
post game,
he had it. He had it, man. It's sad that injuries robbed him of his career.
Absolutely.
But Brandon Roy that boy was like that.
Yeah,
that boy was like that.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce. I think Gilbert mentioned Paul Pierce. I mean,
He
nobody's
did.
going.
That's a great one.
I said Tracy McGrady earlier. Like Tracy McGrady, he wasn't necessarily in the post much, but I mean, you had to guard him at all points of the game. I mean, from the 3-point line, he get inside the mid range. He can easily get into the post because his length, will bother you, and Kobe had problems with him. So I mean,
what about Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry?
Yeah,
I think G says stuff just to say stuff, man. He gotta be joking. There's no way he can be serious.
Go back and look at his tapes, bro. Like
we
some
talk
of those
game
winners, they wasn't at the 3 line. He was open. He had to make those shots, bro.
Those are passes. He got past the ball to do it. Someone put the ball on the floor.
Someone was from the post, Like if you go back and look at his game transformer, and I'm only saying this because
I've seen.
I want you to be really informed and not just look at the highlights, Like Shorty was a problem, bro.
We're not talking about that. I was watching the Rockets thing because I was watching everything Dream did. So I understand.
He did that everywhere he went. That's what I'm saying. He did that everywhere he went.
Really? You can't call him one of the elite scorers. No.
I'd say like this: Robert Horton, Big Shot Bob, he wasn't calling from the ball at half court. He's not calling for the ball. So at that point, the ball is getting to you when when we need you. When we need you, we're giving you the ball. Brandon Roy, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo, Jordan, Kobe, them boys got the ball.
You guys said Mitch Richmond. You guys said
who was you
Mitch
guys?
Richmond was nasty. I said Mitch Richmond. He was nasty.
He said Mitch Richmond. He said Mitch Richmond. He talked about Brandon Roy. We talking about maybe in a span of 3 or 4 years that these guys met their peak, and then after that it was just none. This dude had
Mitch Richmond walked in the league.
How many rings does Robert Horry has? Anybody know?
7.
7 rings. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think we're talking greatest scorers.
We're talking about the elite scorers, bro.
Y'all mentioning these guys that never won a scoring.
We're talking about the elite scorers, bro. We're talking about
guys
elite.
We just said guys that should be mentioned.
Dominique Wilkins never won a championship, bro. Was he not an elite scorer?
I'm not talking about championship, bro. I'm talking about
why are you bringing up championships though?
Why did I bring it up? It was just a question, bro. It was just a question.
But that's not even relevant to the discussion.
I mean, did Robert Horry ever average 20?
No.
But I think you got to at least average 20 to be in the conversation.
Okay.
He never averaged 15.
That's cool. I got you.
We're talking best scorers, okay,
I'm thinking
when
chips.
you get the ball, you can make something. No.
I'm thinking chips from the fifth level.
McGrady wouldn't even be mentioned because he never won really a playoff series.
I'm taking it somewhere else. I'm definitely taking it somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm taking it somewhere else.
But
when I think of winning chips from all 5 levels, I think Robert Horry, he didn't won that buzzer beater at all 5 levels, bro. Somebody passing him the ball, he winning in the ISO, he winning at 3-point line. I mean, it's just that's what I was saying. That's where I was coming from. I get what you guys are saying.
Yeah, we're talking about more if you had to guard this guy 1-on-1. This man got the ball at the 3-point line. Who's going?
Well, Melo in my top 5.
I'm not mad at that.
Melo give you that work from the half.
Scorers.
Scorers. Top 5, bro. So
scorers.
I said I that. Oh my God, what are you doing, bro? How dare you put Melo in your top 5?
Nah,
I think a lot of people
top 5.
Nah.
And now here we are.
I think a lot of people put KD over Melo off of his efficiency. I think people are using efficiency with a shot.
Field goal percentage, not necessarily
field goal percentage.
That's 2 different things.
Efficient, you know what I mean? He was more efficient than Melo. That's different. But when you want to talk about post game and in the trenches, in the post, getting the rebound, putting the ball back up, Melo can take care of that from all points of the floor. KD couldn't do that.
Right.
And Bruce, to Bruce's point, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how KD doesn't like contact. When you get physical with him, he has trouble.
You can negate his greatness. Yeah.
Be physical with Melo. Melo wants you to be physical. Please get physical.
Yeah. Melo gonna punish you if you try to get physical with him.
Physical. Oh, I'm putting you in the post.
Yeah.
You want to bang? Let's bang.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Melo's a load. Pause. Definitely.
Yeah, that's Jesus. That's 2 DMV players, bro.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's hear what else Gil had to say. Let's hear what else Gil had to say.
What KD does and how he does it is himself.
We'll never see it again.
right? Like, he's going to go arguably like one of the top natural scorers to do it, right? But this is coming from two different places, like James Harden, right? James Harden will go down as a great scorer, but I'm judging off of the levels of how he can score. He can only score one way, right? Harden can only score the way he does it. He can't pin down. He can't come off screens. He can't do any of that. But how he perfected his scoring, top notch. Same thing with Kevin Durant. How he perfected his scoring is top notch. But he don't post up, and he come off.
Great point, Sneed. The more ways you can score, the more you can do it on different defenses and defenders. Exactly.
That's what makes you the better scorer.
Yes, that's what makes you an elite scorer.
We're not talking about shooting. Like, I'm seeing Dirk Nowitzki and Shaq. Like, you wasn't seeing Shaq at the free throw like from 15 feet or 20 feet or 30, 25 feet.
Nope.
You wasn't. You wasn't seeing Dirk put it on the floor from the 3-point line to then get into the post and hit a turnaround jump shot. Like, you wasn't really seeing a lot of that.
Realistically, you're not even seeing Shaq get the ball and make an ISO move at the
Dirk
elbow or the
20,
high
G. I
post.
see what you're doing, G. I see what you're doing, G.
I don't understand how y'all can say that Dirk wasn't a five level shooter or scorer. I'm trying to figure that one out. Like,
because he wasn't great in the post, he wasn't great on the ISO. Like, he moved well without the ball. Obviously, he could shoot on the face up. You know.
You sure?
What up, Sports T? No, Transformer is not saying that. He's not saying that at all. What up, D?
See, this is why. See, nobody mentioned LeBron all night. Y'all be bringing this to me.
I was just gonna say that.
I didn't even say Bron.
I was just about to say that Dirk definitely destroyed Miami.
Oh my goodness!
With 9 fingers from everywhere, from the 3, from post ISO. He destroyed them boys. Bosh had a hard time. He had a hard time, like, trying to defend that guy. Like, really rough time. That's all I'm saying, bro. He won a chip from all 5 levels. He won a chip from all 5 levels.
The ball at the 3-point line.
First, you keep bringing up this chip thing, and it has nothing to do with the argument. You keep bringing that up, and that's not relevant. We're talking about scoring skill set. For instance. You finished telling us how Melo, right? You got him in your top 5. He doesn't have a chip, so what are we saying? The chip is not relevant to what we're discussing here.
The point that I'm saying is the chip is the icing on the cake. What he was able to do to Miami to win the chip is what showed me that he's a 5-level layer scorer with 9 fingers.
But he wasn't though.
And what you mean he wasn't, bro? What you mean?
Saying he wasn't?
Huh? How can you say that, yo? He shoot the 3, right?
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He shoot the 3, right? When he first started out, hold on. When he first started out, he was trying to go in the post and they would slide him on the hydros every time he went in the post. Remember that, right? He developed a ISO post game, right? The turnaround, the one stop fadeaway turnaround that he got, that he pretty much perfected, right? He perfected. That was in his bag. Like, you couldn't stop that. He was a 7-footer that was shooting a fadeaway from the top of the key in the post. You couldn't stop that, right? So ISO wise, like, you couldn't tell me he couldn't square up and shoot the ball, bro. Like, what are we saying when we say ISO? 3 moves, 2 bounce on the shot. What's the criteria for ISO?
Does he have 1 dribble pull up? Does he have 2 dribble pull up? Can he go?
You telling me he don't have that?
So
you telling me he don't have that?
That wasn't. No, he was catch and shoot most of the time. That just.
I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna give y'all some homework, bro. Look at Dirk, man. There's a reason why they say Dirk is the best player that ever played at Dallas, man. Like, now granted, early on he was trying to go in the post with the wrong guys, and they were sliding his ass up out of the hydros.
That's
but
why
this
he
dude
was a small
definitely.
in my eyes.
That's why he was small forward. I mean, but that's a skill. That's still a skilled player position.
No. I'm not arguing that.
That's a definitely.
I'm not gonna argue.
5 levels, yo. He had all 5 levels, bro. Like, I know y'all don't want him to have for all 5 levels, but he had all 5.
I don't see the 5th though. I don't see him getting the ball from the 3-point line and doing this thing. I see him putting a shot up at the 3-point line, but like, you see, like, the difference. What I'm trying to make is, you see Melo get the ball at the 3-point line, and somehow he's getting to 15 feet with a turnaround jump shot. You know what I mean? That's that next level of, like, okay, no matter where I'm at on the floor, when I get the ball, I'm a problem. Like,
but that's more of a Melo style of setup. versus
That's why Melo was
ISO, yo. Like that's more of a Melo style where he taking 7 seconds to score.
So let me say this, Nino.
I got you, Bruce. I got you. They need to hear it from me.
Cool.
They need to hear this from me. They need because I know where you about to go.
All right, my bad.
Bron is not a top 5 scorer.
Thank you.
In this conversation.
Thank you.
Yes, he's going to be. He's the all-time greatest scorer.
He's the all-time leading scorer.
But listen to what we're saying here. How you score is the criteria that we're talking about. We don't see Bron doing the things Melo, KD, Jordan, Kobe, McGrady, Brandon Roy, like none of those names. You don't see LeBron doing that. Bron gets the ball from the 3-point line and will literally freight train his way in the paint.
Correct.
Get a layup, an and one, get a dunk. That's one way of basketball. That's like saying we're keeping Shaq out of there. If we want to talk about scoring, then we got to put, if LeBron is in there, Shaq's in there. Because Shaq, you couldn't do nothing with Shaq. He had one move. I'm putting it in the post. I'm going to turn around, drop step. Get out of the way.
And I'm going to put you in that rim.
I'm putting you in the rim. So, like, Shaq is not a top 5 scorer. I'm not going to put LeBron as a top 5 scorer. And on top of that, LeBron didn't know how to really shoot a 3 until the last 2-3 years. He was in with the Lakers.
Yo, wait a minute.
He hasn't really shot a 3 like that.
Can I ask you something, Transformer?
What's up?
Why is it when I say that, you don't want to hear me? I've been saying the exact same thing that you just said.
3?
And y'all don't be trying to hear me.
What,
everything you just said, I've been saying it. But y'all don't be trying to hear me.
You never heard me say top, like he's a top 5 scorer.
That's crazy.
You never heard me say that though.
Oh my goodness.
This is a different conversation. If you heard what I said
I heard what you said.
This conversation, we're talking about ways to score the basketball. He's not a top 5 scorer. Because he has one way. He puts his head down and he's drilling in the paint. It's literally every play. A good 80% of his points is coming off of that same move.
Yeah, let's go back. I want to play some for some people who got in here after the beginning of this topic, so they can kind of get an idea of where we were in terms of how we're talking about these all-time great scorers. So this is kind of what Gil said when they were discussing it on Gil's Arena, and I don't normally agree with this dude, but what he said here is legit. So check it out.
Who's the better scorer in their prime, KD or Melo?
Damn.
That's an easy fucking answer to me.
Score, that's just overall.
The getting of buckets.
I mean, you would.
Levels, like you said.
Probably overall, you would go Melo because he had 4-level, 5-level scoring, which is layups. Like everyone talks about 3-level scoring, right? That's basic fucking people.
Triple threat.
Right?
Casuals.
Right? There's casuals, layup, midi, and then the 3-point line. It's 3 levels. Motherfucker that's posting up, and there's ISOs.
Yep.
Right? And, Melo posted up, and Melo was ISO player. Right? That's 5 levels of, scoring. That's what I said, that basic bullshit is, layup, and he got the mid-range, and then he has, you have a guy that's great at posting up and a guy that's great at, one-on-one isolation. So when it comes to the who is the most, complete scorer, and you would say Melo.
And here was the second part of that.
Say, all right, name your all-life top 10 5-level scorers, right? Because it's 5 levels of scoring, real 5 levels, that elite 5 levels. That takes out generations of players because, when you talk about the 80s, you're really talking about Jordan, the 80s, 90s, Jordan, then you got Bird.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe it.
Bird. I mean, the big man, we can't, the reason the big man is not a part of this because this.
Right.
But you're talking about, those two, Kobe.
But I guess, but you're talking about.
You know what I mean? You got Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Right?
Paul Pierce is a
T-Mac a little bit. T-Mac is 4 or 5.
Did T-Mac post up much?
A little bit, but not much.
Yeah, I mean, T-Mac. But that's what I'm saying. You see how when you add the other 2 elements of posting up and ISO ball, you can see how a lot of great scorers will be out of this category. And that's the difference. Like, Melo is in a category, KD ain't in a category yet because of the posting up and all that.
So you
I mean, he tries it, but that's not his skill set. His skill set is face up, and I'm just going to shoot over you.
All right, so that's where we were in terms of discussing that, and that we all kind of, for the most part, agreed with the way Gil was breaking that down. And I hadn't thought about it to that point in terms of the five level scoring. So I'm not going to say T-Mac couldn't post up, but I think his post up game was a little bit weak, and the reason
it
I
wasn't
say
as
that,
polished.
right? Because think of it, he wasn't that strong of a guy, and you can also point to that being part of the reason that he got injured so constantly, because he wasn't strong. He didn't take care of his body like that. So I think that is an issue. When you can score matters too. Clutch moments, fourth quarter, team needs points badly. Yeah, that's big. That's big, Sneed.
And that's why I'm gonna toot Bruce's horn. Pause real quick. That's why, like, Braun gets this.
No,
toot,
man. No, man. I don't want you nowhere near my horn, B. Pause. Nah, chill. What you doing? What's wrong with you?
My bad. I ain't put my baritone voice on it when I said.
Oh, here you go.
Seem a little bit more cooler, but I'm a 904-219-8265.
All right, but no. To that point, this is why I don't put Braun in that top 5. Because at the end of the day, whenever we see the end of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're telling when the game is on the line. Everybody, even including, I quote this so much from Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless says this all the time. Braun, put your head down, go to the basket, and get a foul, get to the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what LeBron does. He doesn't have that skill set to where he's at the 3-point line, dribble, pivot, come off a screen and a roll, turn around, pivot, back shot, or nothing like that. That's not a consecutive shot for him. That's why you see him miss a lot of those attempts, or he's passing it, because he's demanding attention when he's driving, but he can kick it to the next open guy, like a Kyrie or a J.R. Smith or anybody who's open, Kyle Korver, whoever like that. So that's what keeps him out of that top 5, because you have to have that scoring ability in multiple facets. He has one facet when that matters the most. Not saying that's not saying clutch. That's a different conversation, because he does make a lot of clutch baskets. But if you look at how those baskets are made, they aren't off of the multi-facets of scoring, like you see a Melo, a KD, a Kobe, Kevin Durant, a Devin Booker. I mean, you got to put Devin Booker up in some type of conversation. He's just small.
You can.
But those guys like that. So I'm gonna put that to bed. That's my take on LeBron James. I wanted to hear about LeBron James. No, he's not greatest scorer as far as points, but not the scorer that we're talking about in this conversation.
Empty calories.
Right. Yeah, realistically,
like have empty calories with 4 chips, bro. That's just impossible.
So anyway, anyway. But no, I think it's hard to be in this discussion when your skill set is limited offensively, and there's so much you're missing. Like we talked about Melo and KD and these guys with the 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull up. Like LeBron don't have that. It's simply not a part of his repertoire. He can't consistently and reliably go into the post, turn over each shoulder. Think about it. You're 6'9", 260. You don't have a jump hook. You can't go into the post and get an up and under and score. Like there's so much missing from his game offensively. I think that's why it's problematic.
Now, granted, the boy is built like a muscle brick house on the football field.
Isn't that why he should be able to go to the block and abuse dudes, mouse in the house style? He should, right? He should be able to.
But again, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that turnaround pull up. So I mean, if he had a turnaround pull up from even if he had a 15-foot turnaround pull up or a 12-foot, he would probably be in that top, because at that point now he can get down there, use his size, and he can use that turnaround 15-footer to really put his team at an advantage with that type of shot. But
he probably had 2 more rings if he had a post up, or man, if I ain't gonna say a post up, but if he had a
post up 15.
Yeah, if he had an actual bag, he probably would have had 2 more rings.
Yeah, Braun ain't got no bag. Braun is the king of no bag.
Yes.
This whole look down at the ball and shoot it and knock it down in your face. I'm mad at the NBA for letting that shot happen. Like, bro,
first of all,
this man is looking down at the ball, take a step back and shoot it in your eyeball.
Just look it up. There's a few terrible air balls off of that nonsense. So we're not even.
But a few times when he got guys and they like, come on, man, he made that. Like, block it. You see him looking at the ball.
Well, but you know what he wants to do. What he really wants to do is get you in the air so he can go past you and, you know, put that shoulder down and do. But anyway, that's a different thing. This is not about LeBron. Did I mention Glenn Rice earlier as one of the guys from the 90s?
Ooh, Glenn is a good
Mike,
one.
Bron, Mike, Kobe, Wilt, Kareem.
What you talking about?
Where are we?
Nino's. I'm all the way up at 9-11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You said
It's in
Bron,
the
Mike,
back.
Kobe, Kareem.
Yeah, and Wilt.
Kareem wasn't at the 3-point line. That's obsolete.
Yeah, and again, as great as
The sky
Kareem
hook.
was,
The sky hook is his thing.
Wilt. Yeah, Wilt. Just, yeah.
by the way, he got that shot blocked twice that I've ever seen. One by Wilt and one by Dream. But, you know, anyway, not neither here nor there. But yeah, absolutely. Listen, nobody wants to denigrate Kareem, but when you're a big, it's so much harder to be in this discussion because your skill set generally is going to be limited and you need a guard to get you the ball. So, you know, there's that.
Now, if you want to talk dominant,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Last name. Yeah. That's a real good one right there.
Big dog.
Absolutely. Yeah. He was a problem. You think so, Sneed? You think so? I really don't know.
Bron would have been coachable in a different era.
I have no idea.
Maybe Bron would have been coachable.
You would hope so.
If he played back then?
Yeah, because he would have come up in a different era where coaches had legitimate authority. So you would hope so. And then who knows what he would have been. That would have been interesting. Because nobody's saying he's not talented, but he would have been forced to develop actual skills. So
I think you play it also to his childhood. I mean, he had no authority coming up.
Yo, Bron definitely got skills.
His father wasn't there.
He got skills.
But I think that's what Sneed is saying. Like if he came up in that era, he would be more he would have been more coachable because he would have had firm coaches that actually would have been able to be authority figures to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's cool. All right. Let's do this. I don't think we need to see the Jordan B roll, right? We know. What's up?
I said I got you. Oh, I thought we was about to open up the phone line, so I was about.
No. I was about to say I don't think we need to show the Jordan B roll because everyone knows that Jordan is the best scorer of all time, right?
If we show Jordan, we got to show Kobe B roll. It is 8:24 today.
I showed Kobe, but I can do it again.
Yeah. It's 8:24 today, guys. Yeah,
look at it. Yo, look at this. You know what I love about Kobe? No bull. The footwork. To me, it's the foot. Look at that. Oh, pivot is beautiful. It's the footwork that allows him to get off.
Look at that double team. Guess what? Double team. Pick up.
Class.
Get up, boy. Get up. Woo. Get up.
Yo, it's
ridiculous, dog.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to watch him play because the you could tell the work and the reps that he put in over and over again to be able to get off those kind of shots, right? And so I'm not going to reference those who clearly have been in the league for 22 years and are all-time leading scorers, but still can't do those things. But
but I think that's a different conversation. Like I said,
it is a
different conversation.
It is. And one, get off me.
I mean, that's not a score. That's more like a just athletic move. But
no, the reason it's just look at it. That's from three. That's from three.
Do me a favor.
Now they trap. Oh, get off me.
Show me the B-roll with Jordan going left, though.
Really? We already. I know you're not talking that nonsense. We dismantled that.
Show me the B-roll with Jordan going left.
We
send him the link, bro. Send him the link.
I will.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. Okay.
There you go. You just went left right there. You know.
That's beautiful.
But I'm gonna send it to you, Transformer. Because that whole Jordan couldn't go left is absolutely absurd. I'm gonna find it and send it to you.
Push off. Oh, the push off game. Got it.
That's called physics. That's not how push off. That's physics.
Going left.
That's not going left.
Here you go. But
push all right. Push
thank
all
you,
right.
Sports T.
Left.
Thank you, Dominique. Appreciate it, man. This false narrative that he couldn't go. Anyway, I'm not even gonna do it because I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, so many videos and turning the ball over and missing the shot. That's a lot of videos of that.
The reason why we're not talking about Dream is obviously because if you notice, we've been, for the most part, leaving bigs out of this just because of the nature of that, the big man position and the way they play the game. We've been leaving them out. But you already know how I feel about Dream. You already know, obviously, what type of player he was and how deep his offensive toolkit was and the things that he can do. So didn't even really go there with that. Yes, he did have the Yes, he had him in the blender for 48 minutes. Absolutely. Really, not even 48 minutes. He had him in the blender for 6 games. And for those of y'all who don't know what we're talking about how Hakeem Olajuwon completely, thoroughly dismantled David Robinson over the course of 6 games in the 1995 NBA Western Conference semifinals. Not the semifinal. Yeah, the semifinals.
Not a 5-level score, though.
For averages of 35, 12, 5, and 4 on the series.
Not
not
see
a
Kareem get the
5-level
ball.
score.
I mean, Hakeem get the ball at the 3-point line.
Well, so this is actually funny, right?
He's not a
So,
5-level
see,
scorer.
now you got me kind of digressing towards Dream,
Not
and
a
that wasn't my
5-level
intention.
scorer.
No, we're not gonna let you do
hold
that, Bruce.
Hold on. No, I'm just gonna say
you're
this
right.
real quick.
He's not a
Because-
5-level scorer.
Because you mentioned
In the day.
3-point, you mentioned the 3-point line. So I'm gonna
He's
just
not
bring
a
this up.
5-level scorer. He's not even
Can
4.
he-
Not even 3.
Can I just say what you mentioned?
But why are we
3-point line.
mentioning him? And he's
You
not
mentioned the
in
3-point line.
category?
So can I respond to that real quick, please?
Okay, all right, Bruce.
Okay.
So
Kenny Smith tells the story about how they're in practice and Dream is consistently knocking down threes. And he asks him, why don't you shoot those in games? He says, why do I need to? I only got to play hard like twice a year. And not literally twice a year, but against 2 opponents. So he's talking about D-Rob and Patrick Ewing. But the point is, Dream could shoot the 3. That's just not what bigs did back then. So it's really hard to put guys,
No, go ahead.
It's really hard to put, bigs in that category back then because that wasn't their game. But it's all good.
Shooting threes in practice. Shooting threes in practice don't mean nothing in the game.
That's cool. See what my man Sneed says
Shaq
right
can
here.
shoot threes in practice.
See what my man Sneed says right here. See what my man Sneed says right here.
Scoring. Your favorite scores getting lessons from Kareem. That doesn't mean he's a 5-level scorer. He's not.
That's the fact.
Is Hakeem getting the ball at the 3-point line? Answer that question. Yes or no, Sneed?
That's not how the game was played back then.
Is Kareem
Yes or no?
teaching 3-point lessons?
Is he teaching 3-point? Is he teaching outside shooting?
Why is he teaching 3-point lessons?
Is he teaching outside shooting? Let's not even say 3-point line.
Why are we mentioning him right
from
now?
20 feet? Is Hakeem teaching 20?
I didn't bring up Dream. I wasn't gonna bring up Dream. I was responding to my man Sneed brought up Dream.
Play the game. Yeah, we're gonna leave it there though. Like
this from the same dude that got Melo in his top 5.
That's right. That's right. And we had what is the conversation?
He got Melo in his top 5. Period.
What is the conversation about?
He got Melo in his top 5.
I mean, but judging, since I heard G give me his top 5 in NFL, I'm not mad at him with top 5 Melo in his conversation.
You can't be mad
because he's not looking at championships and accolades.
I'm not superficial, bro. Like
he's not looking at championships and accolades
just because they score a bunch of points.
I'm not mad at that. I respect
or
it.
There's one of those cultural things. He changed the game culturally for so many people. So I ain't gonna mention Bird, but I'm not gonna put them in my top 5 based off of superficial. I seen this kid get it out the mud, so he in my top.
I agree.
Okay.
I bought that Melo jersey the moment he got drafted.
Exactly.
Along with LeBron.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Are y'all ready
He's
to
still
open
doing
up
business,
the phone
bro. He's
line?
still doing business.
Y'all ready to open up the phone lines?
Listen, KG said, "Look, your wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios."
Y'all
Pulled
ready
up
to
at the
open up
bus.
phone lines?
What do you do, bro?
I was at the bus, bro.
Hey, he's still doing business, man.
Hey.
Like,
Are y'all ready to open up the phone lines?
No, I got
That's
you,
what I
I got
want to
you.
know.
All right, open up the phone lines. Big baritone Bruce. Call in 904-219-8264.
that's enough.
But before we open up the phone lines, man, don't forget to hit the like button. You know you like the content. You know you love us. We're hilarious, but we give that good advice. It was good takes, and we appreciate you guys doing it in the chat.
Gosh.
Bruce, take it away. Open up the phone lines, brother.
Let's do it. 904-219. Oh, here we go. We got one right now. What we got?
I said it.
All right, Steve, what's good, my man?
What's up, Bruce? How you guys doing?
Doing all right, man. Got Nino calling right behind you. Pause. Nino, call us back, man. All right, Steve, what you got, brother?
All right, bro. I got to side with D on this. Melo's
Okay.
top 5. Melo's top 5 all-time bucket getter.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm cool with
absolutely.
Oh,
I
did we
mean,
agree
top
with that?
3.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. No,
G
G got Melo top 5 all-time player.
No.
Yeah.
But out of respect for G, if you look at his criteria for NFL quarterbacks, I'm not mad at how he put it in the NBA. He doesn't look at championships. He doesn't look at accolades. He looks at pure play. For pure play, I do like that. I do like Melo being in his top 5.
If you don't give me like criteria, how am I supposed to know?
You like that he's top 5 all time?
If you don't give me
by G standards, listen to me, bro.
Some of y'all got LeBron in y'all top 5.
I don't. You know I don't.
No.
Yeah.
Bron
Some of y'all got LeBron in y'all
LeBron in
top
top
5.
5.
You know I don't.
Bron ain't top 5 all time.
No, he is not.
Some of y'all got LeBron in y'all top 5. Come on, man.
Yeah, some people do. I don't.
I do.
And I understand the argument, but LeBron ain't. Anyway, I was talking about the scoring, but I agree. I agree with G. It's like top 5 scorer. I can't go Melo top 5 all time. Though. That's a different discussion. But
correct.
But the criteria being scoring, and I've always argued this with my friends. If I built the Mount Rushmore NBA scoring, which the criteria you guys talked about, I know a lot of people in the chat were talking about big, and I feel like it is disrespectful to the bigs, but we got to be honest, and it's nothing against the guys in the 90s. They weren't asked to step out and shoot like that. It's just a totally different game.
That's what I said.
But you can't factor that in, though, bro.
Like we're watching guys like Karl Anthony Towns in today's game and stuff. Do I think Dream has that ability? Yeah. Like I think that could have been. It just wasn't the case at the time.
But coulda, woulda, shoulda isn't a fact.
I agree with you. We never saw it in games. But if you're going to tell me a guy like Karl Anthony Towns and some of these bigs that stretch out and shoot now, you're going to tell me guys like David Robinson, Dream, like guys in the 90s didn't have that ability. If that was the game they played, I think they have that type of skill to develop that for what we're seeing today. But I agree, you don't physically see it because they weren't called to do it at that time. Hell, you played 2 bigs back then. You know what I mean? In today's game, you have a stretch big. I don't even call it a stretch 4 anymore. It's just a stretch big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyway, when I always argue with my friends, my Mount Rushmore of pure bucket getters, just pure bucket, offensive ability, like Gil's talking, the 4 level, 5 level. You have to obviously go MJ and Kobe.
Mm-hmm. Those are not be named. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a gift. Kobe, MJ, they're there on that Rushmore, and then it definitely for me, it's Kobe or it's Melo and KD. And the only reason I said earlier in the chat, I know you saw it, Bruce. I call them the purest buckets ever, only because it's not that they're better than MJ and Kobe. They're just bigger. And it's not to take it's no disrespect on MJ or Kobe. But, Melo was 6'9", 250 with that ability to stretch out to the three-point line and post anybody up. KD doesn't post up now because we've seen all the lower legging. But people forget OKC KD, Seattle KD, he could post people up. So I would only say they're like the most purest buckets in any way because when they rise up, not to say that Kobe and MJ couldn't rise up. We know they can. But, we're talking about a 6'9" guy with the skill of those 2 guys. And same with KD. And you could argue close to 7 foot. Some people say he is 7 foot. When KD and Melo rise up, you just can't really defend it. I think Kobe was even talking on film, R.I.P. Kobe. But he was doing interviews talking about, the toughest, most bully guy ever guarded. He was talking about T-Mac and Melo. And then he was talking about the guy who when he was a rookie in KD, when KD came back after his 2nd or 3rd year, he's like, I couldn't figure him out. Once he figured out how to go right and everything, he's like, I just couldn't figure him out. Granted, Kobe was getting older at that point. Young Kobe could have probably figured it out.
Right.
But
young Kobe would have locked him down.
I'm built on Mount Rushmore, MJ, Kobe, KD, Melo. Those are the best pure buckets NBA history. That's my take. I don't want to take up all your time.
I'm not mad at it, bro. That's good. That's
not bad.
Because half of it's already given, so the next 2 is just up to you.
Right.
I have to stretch the argument out, and it's a shame his career was the way it was with the injuries. T-Mac was that dude.
I mentioned him earlier. Yes.
Yeah, the same reason for Melo and KD. He's like 6'9", just had that ability to stretch you out to the three-point line, take you off the dribble, ISO game. Early, healthy T-Mac could post you up. Some of the battles him and Kobe had, that was fun, man, watching those 2 go back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. When T-Mac crossed Kobe up, Kobe touched the floor, then Kobe came back down and beat him to the post and dunked on him and slapped the backboard and got attacked.
Oh, yeah.
And T-Mac was like, why'd you do that? I just needed to show you a point, young fella.
Yeah.
And I have to say this before I get off here, man. All the Braun fans work, and like nobody's saying the guy doesn't have the most all-time points.
Right.
Yeah, that's different.
And that we're talking about this conversation is about when you watch basketball, who's got a bag? Who's got that
Braun ain't
bag?
got no bag. None.
Score in a phone booth. They can score in the open floor. They can stretch
Yes.
you out. They can come off, pick and roll, pin down, catch and shoot. All the abilities to score. LeBron is a physical, dominant scorer, just like a lot of the bigs were kind of discredit. Like Malone's got a ton of points. Physical, dominant scorer. Shaq, physical, dominant scorer. But they're not skilled buckets.
No.
Fair enough.
They had a skill. They had a skill, and they stuck with that one skill. Like Shaq, he had one skill, and he was just the best at it.
Well,
Bron
if
has
nobody
one
could stop it,
skill.
he didn't have to
He's
develop
like
much else,
the
right?
best at it. Like I can put my head in the basket, and that's it.
Yeah, Bruce said it earlier about LeBron. Like, come on, man, 40 years old, he's never figured out a low post move. I mean, that just shows you how physically gifted, and he's so dominant, he never really had to.
That's true.
Now, it would have paid him better off the later in his career. Now that the thing doesn't get up the same way, not to say he can't get up. You know he can. But it's not like it was in his prime. If he had that ability to have that sky hook, where he should be dominating guys on the post. Now that we're seeing these bigs in today's, like you see bigs now, they're like in the West especially. Other than Jokic, there's no real bigs that weigh over 230 pounds that are really good, that LeBron couldn't push his way and like score with a skilled low post ability. Nobody's saying you got to go out and shoot all these threes.
Right.
But like, I mean, you should be able to have.
I mean, that helps with his longevity, but. Did we lose him?
Oh no, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was done. I don't want to take up any more time. I want to let you guys get to some other callers. I know other people want to talk.
I appreciate that,
appreciate
Steve. Thank you, man.
Hey, appreciate you guys.
All right, brother.
All right, man. God bless.
You too. All right, I saw Nino calling. I saw Sneed calling. Go ahead, call us back.
Nino, don't come in here with that LeBron stuff, bro. I'm holding it down. You don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna make it look like this is what I hate, man. Don't come in here with that LeBron mess with an argument you ain't gonna win.
Here we go.
You're not.
Nino, what's good, bro?
Man, this is saddest shit I ever heard in my life.
Why?
This is why your era that you love so much. I gotta defend the era now. Cause it seems like y'all always making a point for players y'all like. How could you take out a position? How now? I think we asking two different questions.
Okay.
What is the definition of score? What is the definition of score? When you score the ball, what does that mean? You score.
So
not here to Gilbert Arena State.
Yeah, when
no, that don't mean that he's saying multiple ways of scoring. What is the definition of getting points in the NBA?
To put the ball in the basket.
Put the ball, that's scoring. Bron, Will, MJ, Kobe, Kareem. Will, they changed the rules to stop him from scoring so much he dominated. Kareem, all-time lead scorer. I mean, with a second. Bron,
right,
is number one. Malone, number three. All three of them were big men. Bron played like he played a little smart, but he's really a forward big man.
So let me say this, right? I got no issue with what you're saying, excuse me, about Karl Malone, right? So he's got 36,000 career points, right?
Right.
Let's say 36,000 career points.
No, 38. No, that's I think Kobe got 38.
No, I think Malone is ahead of Kobe. But regardless, Malone, let's estimate about 36,000 career points, right? Somebody check me on that in the stat in the chat. So with that said, he's got about 36,000 career points. John Stockton has just under 16,000 career assists. And obviously they didn't all go to Karl Malone, but I say that to say, as great as Karl Malone was, John Stockton was a huge part of why he was getting those buckets. Am I right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
I'm okay. Now that doesn't take away from the fact that Karl Malone had to put the ball in the basket, right? As you just mentioned, he did.
It sounds like they're taking away, Bruce.
I'm not. No. What I'm trying to say, and the reason that we often don't include big men is because they don't have the complete scoring package like these other guys do. And the reason scoring package matters is because, like Snead said, that affects what happens to you at different times in the game against different defenses, what you are able to do, right? For instance, like we saw, and we mentioned it earlier, Transformer and I, we saw when Kevin Durant got in real trouble trying to deal with the Boston Celtics defense in the playoffs a couple years ago. When your scoring package is limited, guys can find a way to contain you. For instance, we've seen in the finals more than once, right? Because LeBron's scoring package is limited, he was able to be contained. We saw it against Dallas, right? We saw it against the Spurs, did we not? So when you
Yes, we did.
when you can only do when you can only do things certain way, it makes it a lot easier to guard you. That's why I think Gilbert and myself, and I'm not going to speak for the other two gentlemen on the panel, but that's why someone like me and someone like Gilbert gives more credence to someone who has a greater scoring package and more scoring versatility. That makes them a better scorer, despite the fact that they may not throughout their career have scored as many points as someone else. You tracking?
I think that's what makes the question more easier to answer. Versatility. We're forgetting that. Like versatility on how you're scoring. Not that you're the most dominant at one way of scoring. Kareem was dominant at one way of scoring. Shaq, dominant, one way of scoring. Bron, dominant, one way of scoring. Okay. End of the game. Do you see Shaq getting the ball?
No. Guess who got the ball? Guess who got the ball when Shaq was playing at the end of the game?
Kobe had the ball. Because Kobe could score at any point of the floor. He gets the ball. I can put it up from the three. If I'm double team, I can dribble out of that double team, pivot, turn around, back foot, jump shot. You know what I mean? So like Shaq couldn't do that. Kareem couldn't do that. Hakeem couldn't do that. As much as people go to his camp, they go to Hakeem's camp for the footwork because Hakeem had great footwork. Kobe loved his footwork. How you think he learned that turnaround, pivot, step through, throw it up the backboard, pass it off to Gasol? He learned that footwork from Kareem. He didn't learn how to score from Kareem. He already knew how to score. So once he added that footwork in it, okay, now I just added another tool to my belt to have a better scoring package. So when we talk about the best NBA scorers, we're talking versatility from the three-point line. If I give you the ball at the three-point line, can you do something with it? If you get the ball at 20 feet, can you do something with it? If you get the ball at 15 feet, can you do something with it? If you're in a post, can you do something with it? Kareem, Bron, and those guys, they can't do nothing with it from the three-point line. So it takes them out. It takes them out of the argument.
Let me interrupt for a second, right? So, Young Disciple, great point. Thank you. Y'all are describing the most versatile scorer. All right, I hear you on that. So if I know how to fix cars, right? I'm really good at fixing Fords, okay? And I can fix all these Fords out here. I'm a great mechanic, right? But let's say I could fix these Fords, but then I also know how to fix BMWs, and I can fix Benzes, and I can fix Chevys, and I can fix Saabs, and I can fix Kias, and I can fix Hyundais, right? Now I'm a more versatile mechanic. Doesn't that make me a better mechanic because I can do more things and fix more cars? My versatility makes me superior. That's what we're saying. So I get that you want to defend your guy. I totally get it. But more versatility as a scorer makes you a better scorer, even if you have not scored as many points in your career. That's what I'm getting at. I don't know if these guys agree with my analogy, but that's the analogy I'm making.
I agree, because if you want to put it off straight points, then the greatest of all time would be Wilt Chamberlain. 50 points in a season?
Right,
50 point per game average?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nino. What were you saying, man? I'm sorry.
I agree with y'all point, but see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all go, what y'all, because most people go straight to clip. That is a move, yeah. In the last minute, you need a move. You need a go-to move. You need a way, because more than mid-range is way more dangerous. The last time, 9 times out of 10, you got to shoot it. I agree with that. It's way, basketball was from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. I agree with the clip. If you going off straight, yeah, you need to move at the end of the game. Okay, this is basketball. You got to play the game fourth quarter. Kareem, I don't understand how Kareem could be number one in points. If we just talking about scoring. Now, if we talking about left, it got to be two different questions. The most versatile scorer and all of that. Kobe, MJ, you can't refute that because that's Kobe MJ.
But why is it Kobe MJ? Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that real quick. Why is it Kobe and MJ?
Because they did what they. So do y'all think Kobe is a better scorer than MJ?
No. Tell us why you think Kobe and MJ. That's what I want to hear.
Because they created another way of scoring. I feel like MJ. Okay, Kobe took MJ moves.
Mm-hmm.
MJ created a different way of scoring. You know, when the big man leaves, this is why I'm wondering, do we discredit MJ? This was the argument the kids make when they try to discredit MJ. Oh, this was MJ the only one doing his thing. MJ started to, okay, I'm gonna go in. We ain't throwing the ball as a big man post it. We can have some do triangle. Everybody, we talk about 3-level scoring. MJ didn't shoot a lot of threes. He got in his sweet spot. Do that mean he couldn't shoot threes? No, that's foolish. I think, well, everybody, some players say he couldn't shoot threes.
He couldn't.
MJ made his money in the mid range with his poster. That was his move. Everybody got their move. Yeah. Kobe took what MJ did, mastered that, but he had a 3-point. That was his move, and he up there in points. He is Kobe like number 4, MJ like number 3. Where are the rest of them guys that we talking about? So longevity got to play a factor.
MJ is number 5, by the way.
Longevity got to play a factor. The changing of the what I'm trying to say, like the creation of the scoring. That's why Wilt and MJ got to be in there. They changed the rules for Wilt to make it harder for him to stay. MJ just MJ. He is the creator. He is how you got Bron, Kobe, T-Mac, all of that. You got that from MJ. Vince Carter. You got that from MJ. You got to put him in there. Kareem led the league in scoring. I think all-time leading scorer. I get what y'all saying. All-time leading scorer. You telling me he's not one of the greatest scorers. That's just crazy. And Bron, what we have done with Bron? We went
because we're not talking about the most points by NBA scorers. That's where I think we're missing the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is basically the versatility, like we said. If at any point of the floor, when you get the ball, are you a problem? Are you a problem at every point of the floor? That's the best scorer that we're talking about. No matter where you're at on the floor, if you get the ball, you are a problem. Melo was a problem. Kobe was a problem. Jordan was a problem. Shaq wasn't no problem. Bron is not no problem. Who else is his name? Karl Malone, they're not no problem. Kareem, they're not a problem at the 3-point line. We're talking about at any point of the floor. If that ball passes half court and you get the ball, are you a problem?
You're dangerous.
You're dangerous.
So was MJ a problem at the 3-point line? Or you can't? Or are we?
I would say yes, even though he's not a great 3-point shooter.
Let's do this simply,
he
right?
can make a move from the 3-point line.
I was about to say, are you just going to leave him?
You're not going to leave him.
There's no place on the floor MJ gets the rock that you're going to leave him alone. That tells you how dangerous he is as an offensive player.
I think he would have been able, but that's not how the game is played. I'm not going to count that against him. So I'm not going to count the way the game played against other players because it's basketball. It's 5 players playing basketball. But so I'm thinking, I'm guessing it's a different conversation. We can't say all-time NBA scores and we talking about versatility. That's 2 different things. And what I think we did with Bron, I'm going to let y'all go because I want to see what everybody else has to go. I think what we have done with Bron, we seen him in the Spurs, which I would agree. He wasn't that player yet. He had a 1-level score. That was his thing. We seen him against Dallas. His mind wasn't there of his moves, and he had the moves yet. The next year, when he lost to Dallas, when he had KD on him, he had KD in the post, baking him out. We seen him play in Cleveland. I don't know if y'all seen him play in Cleveland. When he now is he
in Cleveland, I would say he was closer to a 3-level in Cleveland. But his second stint in Cleveland, LeBron was closer to a 3-level in Cleveland because he did take a lot more. He got better from 15 feet. He got better from 25 feet. I mean, Toronto was literally scared of him from at any point of the floor, but he was closer to that then. To me, that would be peak.
Well, yeah, that's what I think. What I think we've done with Bron, we say, okay, you struggled the first. You failed against the Spurs. You had a meltdown against Dallas. you just a driving school. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying watch the Cleveland. Watch after LeBron lost. Just like when MJ come in, he used to play like James Harden. Well, no disrespect. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't know what you're saying. James Harden and
down.
MJ in the same sentence is entirely disrespectful. Don't do that.
Rude. Blocked.
One-on-one. I'm saying one-on-one basketball.
Not even.
Nah.
James Harden invented the carry. He invented the carry.
I'm saying, listen, this is what I'm saying. One-on-one basketball. This was the story that was told. Well, I can't say, I might be lying. They said MJ is playing one-on-one basketball. Phil told like, come here. You want to win, or do you want to be the best scorer? All that.
Right.
And then he developed mid-range and developed a game like that. So that's all I'm saying.
I hear you, Nino. But I'm gonna let you go, man. I'm gonna let you go. We got a couple more. Hopefully, we got a couple more calls to get to, and I want to address something that Young Disciple said in the chat, which I thought was real interesting, man. Appreciate your call, Nino. As always, man. Yeah, appreciate you. All right, we got Sneed. Sneed, what's good, brother?
Bruce, what's going on, bro?
All right. Hold on 1 second, and I'm gonna get to you. All right, hold on. So, Sports Disciple, Young Disciple said in the chat, I thought this was really interesting. He said MJ was a horrible three-point shooter. We got to stop that. That's a false narrative, right? What we like to do, we want to compare guys' three-point shooting percentage to how threes are shot today. And we keep talking about how back then the three wasn't nearly an integral part of the game because as his logic would dictate, you get a higher percentage shooting shots or attempting shots closer to the rim, right? That's always been basketball until recently. But the reason I'm going to say that, during the 1980s, I just looked this up, Young Disciple, the average three-point shooting percentage was relatively low, starting at around 23.8% in the early 1980s. By the end of the decade, it had improved slightly, but remained below 30%. Michael Jordan is a career 32 and change percent three-point shooter, right? Again, they didn't shoot threes a lot back then, but that means he was higher than average three-point shooter for the era that he played in the 1980s. In the 1990s, the average three-point percentage saw a gradual increase, reaching around 30% in the early part of the decade and peaking in 1996 when the three-point line was temporarily shortened, and they put it back. But by the end of the 1990s, the average three-point percentage in the NBA was about 34%, which puts Michael Jordan just below average. So to say that Michael Jordan was a horrible three-point shooter is a flat-out lie. It is disingenuous, right? We cannot compare it to how the three-point numbers are today and how the game is played today. We can't. So if you want to do that, you got to look at it relative to the era that he played in. So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. Sneed, go ahead, brother.
All right, Bruce, man. Hey, listen, I just want to start by saying I don't disagree with much of anything anybody has said. I think the criteria by which you guys are using for this discussion or debate or whatever you want to call it, I think they're all fine. It's hard. People are saying, you shouldn't just count versatility. You shouldn't just count dominance. I think you count all of it, because here's what's going to happen. If you only count versatility, you're taking a guy like Shaq out of the discussion. You're saying, well, he was just huge and dominant. Mm-hmm. But if you're so good at something, it gets you in the conversation, right? That's so fair. If you got 5 things, right? 5 level score is what I heard Transformer talking about. Mm-hmm. If you got 4 things, you could still be a better scorer than the guy who has 5 things, because with the 4 things, but you had the go-getter attitude. You were aggressive. You had better players around you, which got you more open looks, like a lot of other factors. So I'm not going to discount a guy because he only had 4 levels of scoring and not 5. Now, it starts to get extreme, like where you only have 1 way to score and another guy's got 5. That's a huge discrepancy. Because I'm looking at a guy like Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's scoring with his left and his right. Yep. He's off the corner of the backboard. Yep. I mean, he's got teardrops. He's got hook shots. He's got the 3-ball. Mm-hmm. He's got the fadeaway. Bro, he scores over big players, and he's small. Yeah. And he knows how to get to his spots, and he knows about game situations. The intelligence is there too. There's so many factors in scoring.
I'm good with Kyrie. That's fine. I think he's 5 level because when he gets matched up on a guard, he can take them into the post as well. So I'm with you.
Yeah, and I just gave him as an example. I'm not saying he's the greatest scorer. I'm not saying anybody's the greatest scorer. That's a hard conversation to have because you're going to have people telling you, well, the guy who has the most points is going to be the greatest scorer, which I disagree with. I'm just saying you got to take into account so many things. We could say who's a great scorer. Saying who's the greatest is very hard to do. You know, it's hard because you're going to have to discount some guys. I'm not trying to discount Wilt. He was like, think of a more dominant player than Wilt Chamberlain.
It's hard to. It's hard to.
You know,
yeah.
Think about a guy more dominant than MJ. I can't. It's so hard to do. I don't want to discount anybody, but I can definitely. Well, Shaq. I mean, he was averaging an incredible in his prime, an incredible scoring clip, and he could make free throws.
Right.
You know, so there's always these anomalies, these extremes.
Hack-a-Sack was a thing.
Yes, Hack-a-Sack was a thing, definitely.
I agree.
He left a lot of points on the table.
A lot.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm looking at the way that this thing is framed. I think the best way to do it is to ask the person across from you, how do you want to characterize a great scorer? And then you go from there. You define the lines, and then you start ranking guys at those things because it's wide open. I'm looking at all the names people are dropping in here. They're all right. I'm looking at the names you guys mentioned. They're all good choices. I'm not going to sit here and argue any of these guys. I mean, look at the names that were mentioned. People even said Mitch Richmond.
I said that.
He was a great scorer.
He was.
You know what I mean? Like he was, bro. But he was in the Jordan era, so everybody gets downgraded from
right.
that era.
Right.
You know, and then what about Kobe, who was playing against the Spurs?
Oh, you already know.
About playoff basketball.
He's one of the ones that don't get mentioned.
How many points you average against the best teams in the league? Bro, the bums at defense, they're at home after April. All that's left are defensive teams. So when you're scoring 30 in the playoffs, you are the one, right? So that's why Jordan gets credit because he would level up in the playoffs and in the finals. He was breaking dreams. He was a dream shatterer in the playoffs.
Yes, he was.
And Kareem invented a shot because they told him he couldn't dunk no more. Like, these guys deserve respect as scorers when they tell you you're not allowed to score like this anymore. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Now, you're right.
And a good show, good topic. You guys are the best. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, Sneed. Thanks so much.
Sneed.
Salute.
All right, brother. All right, we got any more calls? I know I saw a sports T in the chat. I don't know if you can get in here.
Who's sports T? We know who that is?
Dominique.
Dom?
Yeah, that's Dominique. That's her show.
Oh, snap. Oh, she started it already.
Right? Yeah, man.
Did not know. Like last time she talked about it. I didn't know.
Yeah. You gotta go over there and subscribe, bro.
Okay, man. Hey, you know what, Dom? I'm doing it right.
Yeah, do that.
I gotta hear your ridiculous LeBron takes. You know I love you, girl. Dom, I love you, girl.
Is it
sports T? Oh, I got it.
Okay, well, looks like we're done on this topic.